Okay, what up ladies and gents, it's your favorite Asian robot right here, hopefully one of your favorite official content creators for the First Descendant. And today, what I'm going to do is I'm going to help you guys, well those of you guys that are returning players, I'm going to help you guys out by creating a tip video for returning players to show you how you can get caught up with this game. If you are somebody that left for several months and now you're coming in and there's so much to do and all that kind of stuff, and you're not sure where to start, then this video is for you. All right, I'm going to show you, using Bunny as an example, what process you go through to get your build up to scratch, what to focus on, and of course, a few other tips and tricks for those of you that are returning to the game. I'll try and keep this video as short as possible, but in general, my videos are always detailed, so hopefully this is helpful to you guys. Let's get started immediately. Oh, and before we get started, if you haven't, please make sure you register me as your content creator. Link is in the video description. It's literally the first line there. If you guys hit that link and register me as your content creator, I'd be very grateful to you. Whether you spend or not is irrelevant. I just want as many people as possible to register me as their creator. Okay? All right, let's get started. Now, when you are coming back to the game, you are going to want to construct a build. All right? Everything in this game is centered around builds. So the first thing you need to do, let's take this bunny build as an example. Check the modules. Every single one of my build videos and any professional build video will have the Descendant modules there, right? This is actually what you focus on first. Why modules first? These are usually the easiest to get, upgrade, and slot in. All right, they require you to go to a variety of locations, grab the stuff. And of course, modules can also be acquired if you already have Bunny up and running, or let's say in the past you've already had a solid Bunny build. You can just run around the 400% and get the modules in there and combine them to make new modules that you might be missing or stuff like that. So in general, modules first, okay? Once you have your modules up to snuff, your build starts to take shape and you can start to hit the enemy hard. Now, if your Descendant is a skill-based Descendant, such as Bunny, Ines, and all that, even for non-skill-based Descendants, usually the Reactor will be quite crucial. You are going to need to get a Reactor. This is the next thing on your list. However, while farming a Reactor, you can also farm up Arche Tuning. Arche Tuning is one of the new systems introduced into the game. I don't know if you were here during its release, but if you have not done up your Arche Tuning for each character, this is quite an important system. Why is Arche Tuning important? Because through the Arche Tuning system, and those of you who played Diablo 4 might recognize this as a Paragon board, it's essentially that. The Arche Tuning system can add stats to your character. Let me just quickly remove my cam for a second so I can show this to you. But as you go through the Arche Tuning, you'll gain more skill power, reduce skill cost, increase skill range. There's a variety of effects that you can use, and most good build videos will show you and explain the Arche Tuning pathway so that you guys understand what's in here. There's also something called mutant cells, which can be inserted into your build to fully complete them. And guess what? Reactors and Arche Tuning can be found in one location. All right, you are going to get very familiar with this location because you are going to be sick of it by the time you're done, but it's called Sigma Sector. All right, the Sigma Sector is an activity. Now, once per day, you can get a big whopping bonus of 4,000 Arche Tuning XP, but each run is usually 1,500 XP, and once you get enough XP, your Arche Tuning levels up. The current Arche Tuning level, as at the time of this video, is 40. Okay, it will be increased in future, but for now it's 40, so you can plug the points in and, excuse me, make your Descendant stronger in that way. All right, so there are two types of locations for Arche Tuning. Both of them are the same. All right, but the drops, both of them are the same type of activity, okay, Sigma Sector, but the drops differ slightly, especially in terms of the external components and what weapons and materials for Serena can be farmed. All right, certain external components only drop in Broken Boundary. Other external components drop in Isolated Desert. Of the two, Isolated Desert is generally faster. So if you are finished farming everything from Broken Boundary, I don't know what's with my pronunciation today, I'm so sorry. But if you're done with Broken Boundary and you have nothing else you need to achieve in Broken Boundary, farm in Isolated Desert. It is faster than Broken Boundary, to the best of my knowledge. The runs here are faster because one of the maps is like really, really quick. You can do it in like 2 minutes or less, which is really, really awesome if you've got a solid build already. For most of you, it would take between 2 to 3 minutes, but that's still fine. All right, so Isolated Desert is where you want to go if you are already done with Broken Boundary and you have nothing else to farm there. Other than that, once per day, make sure you grab the bonus, and you also get this high value relic, which can be traded. I think about 10 high value relics for 1 inventory space up to a maximum of 100. You'll learn about this mechanic through the game, but basically that's what you want to do. Okay, so each day, do Sigma Sector, get your Arche Tuning up, and Sigma Sector is also a great way of farming reactors. So, as you work through the build, you've done your modules, next you want to focus on getting the right reactor for your build. Sigma Sector is an excellent place to drop this. Now, here's a little tip about reactors. The only thing that matters on the reactor is the option roles. Do you see singulars? Actually, wait, let me remove my cam there. Do you see the option roles down the bottom? Singular skill power boost, electric skill power boost. All right. These ones in gold color are your option roles. When farming a reactor, these are the only thing that matters. Why? Because there is a specific thing now in the game where you can upgrade your reactor option roles. So even if you get the correct roles, but they're blue, it doesn't matter. You don't need to find those gold roles anymore because you can simply enhance the reactor options. Any role, doesn't really matter whether it's gold, purple, or whatever, you can enhance it all the way to max. So you don't need to ever worry about the roles, just get the correct type of roles, and then you can maximize their stats anytime. All right, so that's another crucial thing. Next, after you've done your reactor, focus on external components. External components now come with cores. The external component cores are all pretty standard. Most builds will be running max hit points and defense on their external component cores, and that is across the board for all 4. There are some specific builds that will benefit from other types, so do take note of that. Okay, some of the other builds benefit from other types, but in general, all of them are the same. External component cores do not require any special unlocking. All right, you don't need to get a core binder to unlock them. No, as long as you've got an ultimate rarity external component, all right, you can place 2 cores in it. All right, and these 2 cores are standard across the board. See, external component cores, you can pick any one of these and you can shove cores into it. Now, the one you want is the Recovery Augmentation Core X, because this one has max hit points. The other one, Variant AB, has max shield and shield recovery, which is not useful for most builds. Okay. For defense core, either Variant AB or X works because both of them have defense as one of the potential roles. Okay. So get your external components after you've gotten your reactor modules, get your external components farmed up, and then slam in the cores. Okay. Because this will take your defensive power to the 9s and increase your survivability by a mile. Make sure you know what kind of roles you want on your external components, but do take note that much like with the reactor, you can also enhance the external component roles. So all that really matters is that you get the correct type of role, like max MP, if you want MP recovery in combat or whatever, get the correct type of role and you can make it maxed out. All right. So farm the correct type of roles. Now, guess where you get external component cores? Sigma Sector. See why I said you'll be sick of this? This is where you get your external component cores to roll your external component cores. Basically, everything is Sigma Sector. Okay, almost everything important is Sigma Sector. So Arche Tuning, Sigma Sector. Reactors, Sigma Sector. External component cores, Sigma Sector. Everything Sigma Sector. So you will get pretty sick of this place, but it is where you'll be running for most of your time. Now, let's say your build is now done with modules, external components, reactor, Arche Tuning, all done. Last but not least, weapons and weapon cores. Where do you get these? Okay. This is where you will need to go to the Void Erosion Purge. Take note that you can only farm in normal mode. The challenge mode only grants you a first time reward. Once you have completed the reward, you cannot get it again. So this is useless for farming. If you want to actually farm weapon cores, you need to be here. Stage 10 of the Void Erosion Purge. Okay, there used to be 30 stages, now there's only 10. All right, but the difficulty is still the same. That being said, skills are now viable here. So people have said, well, I don't have any weapons to go through VP. Not a problem anymore. Take either my NS build, my VS build, whatever build, as long as it says you can do Void Erosion Purge and you're good to go. I recommend using Ines to just progress all the way up to 10, and then at 10 you can just farm with Viesa. She's fast and she works really well against Legion of Darkness. If you take a look behind me, Legion of Darkness is the faction in stage 10, and they are weak against Chill. You can see that right there. So bring your Viesa, and you're pretty much good to go. All right? That is how you construct your build. Now, in addition to your build, here's a couple of other little bits of information that you guys might need if you are a returning player. First and foremost, you will need to know where to farm Gold and Kuiper. Kuiper, as you know, all right, you will end up having an excess of Kuiper because it's only used for upgrading your modules. Where do you get Kuiper? Open up vaults as per my Kuiper guide. If you haven't seen it on my channel, go watch it. But open up vaults, dismantle modules, two of the best ways. You can just run around the 400% mission and just grab all the modules that you don't need and just dismantle them. You'll get tons of Kuiper. You're good to go. Okay? If you guys don't know where to dismantle and combine modules, well, here's a quick refresher. Go to this annoying fella called Cillian. All right? You can dismantle modules to get Kuiper like that. You'll just get Kuiper right there. You can see it up there. And if you need to get modules of the same type, like let's say you're missing some rare modules, just combine 4 of them, you'll get another rare module. Bada bing, bada boom. This is how you can find your missing modules, because the type of module you get is random. There are some ways to skew the probability, but it doesn't really matter. How I farm modules, I just combine them all. I stop caring about specific combinations. I just keep chucking them in there until I get every single module in the game. And that is the methodology that has worked very, very well for me, because if you check my modules, I have every single module in the game right up there. Okay? Works for any rarity. Now, you understand Kuiper. What about gold? Gold is farmed in 2 locations. All right? Gonna remove my cam again. First location is the Bunny Road here, Environment Contamination Zone. This is used with Bunny if you want to keep doing the 20-second runs. If you haven't seen my recent gold farming guide, go check it out. If you don't know where it is, ask in the comments. I'll link you. All right, and the other location for farming is the Defense Mission. The Special Operation Defense Mission in hard mode is excellent because you can get gold as a reward. If you check stage 10, you can get up to 1 million gold, 20% chance. But if you do this with Freyna, it takes about 8 to 9 minutes, and it's pretty efficient. And if you happen to get the big bonus gold, bada bing, bada boom, you can walk away with 3 million after just 1 session. So the hard mode defense mission, excellent for gold farming. You now understand gold farming. You now understand Kuiper farming. What else should you do on a daily basis? Okay, make sure you are cooking 2 things on a daily basis because they are needed for every single build. Your catalyst is very, very important. If you haven't built up a stockpile of catalysts, make sure you are making a catalyst every single day, what we call the donuts. All right? The materials for the catalyst, I believe I have another guide out for that. Make sure you check it out if you haven't already. But you should always be constructing 2 catalysts per day. Make sure you also construct an energy activator because it takes 36 hours. You should already know this if you are a returning player, because I don't know when you left, but even right at the start of the game, you always needed an energy activator. So the energy activator is what we call the mushroom. That is right here. Make sure you've constructed enough, because as new descendants and new weapons come out, you're going to have to build this, and it does take, oh, sorry, it takes 30 hours, not 36 anymore. 30 hours, and there you'll have it, all right? So make sure these 2 are always going each day until you have enough. Once you've got a stockpile of them, you don't need to think too hard about it. But when you don't have a stockpile of them, please build up a stockpile of them, because it takes around 10 catalysts per descendant and weapon to finish most builds, okay? And due to the fact that it takes 10 catalysts, it's about 5, assuming you build 2 catalysts per day, that's 5 days, all right, to get every build, to get any weapon or descendant build up to snuff. So just take note of that. There is some effort involved. That is about it. If you are a returning player, that is everything you need to actually catch up in this game. With just that information, you'll be able to get your builds back on track, okay? If you got any other questions or information that you need from me, ask me in the comments and I'll happily answer you, okay? Thank you very much for watching this video. I hope you guys like, share, and subscribe. I hope you guys register me as your content creator. And of course, big shout out and thank you to July's top supporters. I normally read out every name, but I'm a bit tight for time today, so I can't do that. However, these are the people that are keeping the channel running. Thanks to them, our channel is actually surviving every day. So thank you guys so much for everything you do for me. Everybody that's on this list, you guys have been keeping me in business. You guys are amazing. Thank you for letting me do what I do, okay? I really appreciate the support. I really appreciate the love. Now, I'm gonna head off. Don't do anything weird while I'm gone, and welcome back to the game if you are somebody who is returning to First Descendant. Catch you later.